I think if I recall correctly, it was some years ago, Sean, but I think I shared with my parents first. And parents listening, my dad wept. I had never seen my
Wow.
dad cry before, and he wept. And I
Wow.
didn't know what was going on. I'd never seen him cry before. And the
Mm.
beautiful thing, what he told me when he composed himself, he said, "Son, you have been dealing with this issue for all these years, and we weren't able to help love you. You dealt with this all by yourself." And I don't think even as a sophomore in high school, I really could connect with that compassion and that that sympathy, that heart, that this wrenched heart, until I had kids. When you feel the pain for your kids, I don't realize. I don't think I knew the depth of what my dad really felt, and just how bad he felt that they couldn't have been there with me through the years. So my youth pastor ended up coming, and the four of us sat together at another time, and he recommended a great counselor, a Christian counselor. And parents, let me just throw this out, John. This is really critical. If your child decides to go to counseling, please make sure they're not only Christian, but you need to
Mm.
have a discussion with the counselor to find out what their views are on LGBTQ, because many people who claim to be Christian speak heresy and speak heretically contrary to scripture and guide children in a way that is not of the Lord. So I
Mm.
just want to give that kind of as a warning, just to be careful. Make sure you have that conversation. Should your child choose counseling, that you vetted the counselor, or it's come from a trusted person like Sean or myself.
That's a great qualifier on any issue, isn't it? Whether it's
Oh,
loneliness, depression, there are biblical ideas and there's secular ideas. So doing our due diligence on this issue in particular and any is very, very important today. Now, walk through. It sounds like that response from your dad. At first, when you said he cried, and I was reading your book, I thought, oh no, he's going to say, I'm not going to have grandkids. He was thinking about himself. That was a
yes.
profoundly selfless parental love response
Yeah.
that is beautiful and moving. What
It
advice? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, even though he did that, it didn't keep me from going into homosexuality. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
even though I think my parents made the best decisions they knew how at the time, and remember, Sean, this was back almost 30 years ago.
Hmm.
We just didn't have the resources, and there also wasn't this full-on gay agenda pushing all this stuff onto children and parents. So they were really kind of felt, I think, isolated, but wanted to come around me, support me, and walk with me. And I gotta, since we're talking about parents, I gotta share this, that love and compassion you're hearing from my dad. When my wife read the book, now my wife knows me very intimately on a variety of different levels, and when she read the book, she was crying. I'm like, honey, what did I
Wow.
write that got you? What was it? And it had nothing to do with me.
Hmm.
She said, I keep seeing the love of your parents through this book. And we've been married for 12 years. She goes, I've never heard them hold this over your head,
Wow.
condemn you, or make
Wow.
you feel guilty or shameful. All they've ever done since you've come back is love, restore, and move in that direction. And
Hmm.
Sean, embarrassingly, I never even saw that kind of
Hmm.
love and that kind of grace and mercy, which, I've learned this in seminary, and I teach this. When we connect with our earthly parents like that, it really helps us connect with God. I even think at greater and more
Hmm.
profound levels, because we see God through the eyes of our earthly father.